Why must you repay all of the California Premium Assistance Subsidy? Hi, I'm Kevin Knaus with InsureMeKevin.com. And I've gotten some questions from tax preparers and clients about when they do their taxes, it looks like they have to repay all of the California Premium Assistance Subsidy they received during the year. And it's a little bit confusing because when you go to the instructions, there's a repayment limitation. But these folks did receive a $38.95 from Covered California with the box checkmark repayment cap may not apply. And they just don't quite understand what's going on. And it took me a while of digging around for me to understand what was going on. So Covered California has a repayment limitation to how much someone must repay in many circumstances. And there are other situations where all of the California Premium Assistance Subsidy for the health insurance must be repaid. One of those is if the final modified adjusted gross income is over 700% of the federal poverty level. Now, for these people, their income wasn't over 700%. It was actually below 400% in the federal premium tax credit, because we have two tax credits. We have one from the federal government and then we have one from California. So let's look at a particular scenario. We have a household of two, and when they went into Covered California, they estimated their income at $75,000. So at that amount, they were not eligible for any federal premium tax credit, but they were eligible for the new California Premium Assistance Subsidy for the health insurance. And during the year, they collected $16,413. Now, when they go to do their taxes, their final modified adjusted gross income was only $55,000. That is below 400% of the federal poverty level for a household of two, and in the zone for a federal premium tax credit, which was triggered, and they get to take on their federal income tax return. Now, when they do their California income tax return, some people will think, well, that repayment limitation should hold and they should only have to repay $2,600. However, if they did that, they would have a big windfall because they would be getting not only the federal subsidy, but they would not have to repay a large chunk of, upwards of $13,000 back to California. Hence, I believe that box is checkmarked on the front of $38.95 when a household enters Covered California, and for the entire period they are in it, they stated their income was over 400% of the federal poverty level and not eligible for any premium tax credit. Now, of course, all these things get reconciled when you do your taxes. So, and on Form 3849, the California Reconciliation, Part 3, there's another little box on line 28 that you get to check. And if you're using a computer to do your taxes, when you check mark that, if the repayment limitation was applied, and maybe it said you only had to repay $2,600, when you check mark that box, the repayment limitation goes away and you must repay all of the California Premium Assistance Subsidy. Now, there may be some instances where a household income is below 400% and they do not have to repay it. Those might be if there was maybe a marriage or a divorce, or the family has to split up the subsidy in some manner. But for most individuals and families, if they entered Covered California and they stated their income was going to be over 400% of the federal poverty level, they only receive the California Premium Assistance Subsidy. And when they do their taxes, their final modified adjusted gross income is below 400%, triggering the federal premium tax credit. They will have to repay all of the California premium assistance. And if you look at the instructions for line 28, the very last bit, the repayment may not apply, and if you go through the worksheet, if the income is below 400%, but that doesn't necessarily explain why you have to repay it. But bottom line is the federal premium tax credit should be equal to or greater than what you must repay to California, because it's a more generous subsidy than the California Premium Assistance Subsidy for incomes between 400 and 600% of the federal poverty level. Okay, I hope that kind of explains it. If you have any additional questions, I'll try and figure it out and answer them. You can leave comments below, give me a call, send me an email. So happy taxes, and for InsureMeKevin.com, I'm Kevin Canals.